Potter's Journal. See what's going on in the studio today. I don't want to waste any time. I think from what I saw in the kiln, this is going to be a good one. I've been busy on other stuff too. A repeat of last year. And my niece's stuff waiting to get into the kiln. These bowls that I struggled with, I did manage to get glazed. I'm going to have to, now that I'm running to the end of the review, look at some pots. It's been kind of uneventful, although some glaze layering, which we've looked at as I've unloaded the kiln, my new Celadon, which allows the slip drawings of mine to show through. But mostly I've just repeated last year's success with the sea mist on the inside here on the goblets and the snow on brick on the bottom. Just repeats of last year's successes. And a lot of mugs, always a lot of mugs with my Bluey and Albany slip on the bottom and standard sea mist layered over the top. It's yeah, combination that's done well for me. But I did peek in the kiln, and what's in the kiln today, as I said, this is going to be a good one. So, what do we have here? Some of the Celadon, and it's with some little lines in, so it's catching the glaze a little bit, although you can't see a lot of it here. A little bit there. And I always claim this is not a tutorial, and I think the people who are making them don't tell you that how do they make these things, really. A number of them came out with little cracks on the inside. So for all those YouTube tutorials out there, so how do you really make them? And what are the things to watch out for? My niece took her henna patterns to the inside, and okay, so she'll be glad to see these. There's a couple of those. Some of her patterns are more elaborate than others. I think she was in a hurry because she really doesn't get to do a lot here. But this is what we're waiting for. My reclaimed clay. The pieces, not hot, just a little warm, but I hadn't thought about gloves. The reclaimed clay and the pieces that didn't make it last year because of the bubbling. I took the firing slower at the end and gave it a nice soak, and we've got, yeah, very rich looking. It made a huge difference. But I did open the kiln. This is the reclaimed clay. Oh no, it's bubbled and bloated. Oh. That one I guess is not too bad. But yeah. Okay, I do watch a lot of Simon Leach, and or at least recent, well, mostly from the beginning, and now some recent ones with his, what was he doing? The one glaze and the bloating thing. In this instance, it's reclaimed clay. That some of it was around the studio and probably would have been fine, but I threw one bucket in that was found behind the studio that had been there for years, and some leaves had fallen in it, and so we've got problems there. But if it wasn't for that, look at the surface there, and I don't know what in the reclaimed clay is that white stuff showing through that, wow, these are the kind of things we'd be happy to pull out of a salt fire. I'd like it if somebody who really knew how to do this in an electric cone 6 oxidation would do the tutorials so I could know how to do it right. Wow, look at that. So much easier than a salt or a soda kiln or a wood kiln. I think I may have been okay if it wasn't for the reclaimed clay in the back that had the probably organic matter, some decaying leaves that I hadn't thought about that had built up in the bucket. And okay, the yarn bowls that had been a big commercial success. Not that I made that many, but I was able to sell, all of them. Yeah, the same thing. So, both, getting what I was looking for, and oh no, but not quite there. Not quite there. And okay now. And my Celadon with the white slip. The white slip does have to be thick, or it kind of burns out. So, fortunately, my niece's piece came out. No sticking because we didn't clean the feet quite as good as maybe we should have. Okay. So great. Oh no, and these are beautiful, except for they're all bubbled and bloated. Oh no. Oh, but other than that, they look like things that I've maybe years ago pulled out of a salt kiln. If I only knew too what was in that clay that was doing the right thing. I have the suspicion as what was going wrong, but I don't know what was going right either. Okay. The clay bodies that I found last year. My niece's piece. I don't know. This might be a current one. The older ones, I add a little bit of manganese. Yeah, this is, I think, a new one. A little bit of manganese dioxide to the slip. This is the one, I think, from this year. It was too watery. I added a little manganese dioxide to the slip to give it a darker blue as opposed to such a bright blue. Although I keep a journal and there are notes in it, not always as complete as they should be. Right. And last year, in this little kiln, maybe that's why my first year back to pottery making was such a success. I just did little batches at a time and took no chances. This year I thought I knew what I was doing, and I would do an entire kiln, little kiln, of all the same thing. And here we're going to take a closer look at this. This is here why I'm doing what I'm doing. I think I've asked myself, why does Simon Leach sometimes beat his head up against the wall? With a family history in this, but here is exactly why. The same two glazes. See if we can get them in some light. The same two glazes. In this instance, they're both commercial glazes. Standards. Snow on brick on the bottom, on the hazelnut clay, relatively dark body, and it comes out smooth and even and pretty much the same the whole way around. And there's sea mist over top and on the inside. And here it is on the wild clay body. And all that extra stuff happening. We're looking at two bowls that are both bowls, but let's just take that bowl out of there and bring in the slip-covered vase, and there is why I will continue to beat my head up against the wall, because this does have some white slip underneath it, but the glaze, wow, looks like that over here. And it looks like that there. So, yeah, people often say, how come the commercial glazes aren't doing what I was expecting? There are the two commercial glazes exactly, or on two different clay bodies. The only problem is the bloating. So, I'm going to continue to work on the clay body so I can maybe get the results I want. And you know what? I use that clay somewhere else too. Before I say stop back, I had a lot of reclaimed clay here to use up. I think this is what had the bucket from out back with probably some decayed old leaves, organic matter. This batch here, though, didn't. So before I do a big run on something, I'll have to test out a small batch. And all right, here's the thing. On these, half of them were the reclaimed clay, and half were the tested commercial. And I put a little piece of paper in a couple pots in one row so I would knew it was one clay and the other row was the other. But I wasn't sure which row was the reclaimed and which wasn't. And when I put the handles on, I still wasn't sure. I think I got it right, so I could have one batch here that's reclaimed clay and is maybe best destined to the scrap pile or recycle. I'll just glaze one of each. Or I may have put the wrong handle on that row, so that could be a commercial clay with a reclaimed handle, and that could be the other way around. So I may have, oh no, a whole batch. We're going to start end the season the way I started, with a dinnerware set. So I keep notes, sometimes even to the point of drawing out every one of them in the journal, marking down the pound, even sometimes taking notes of how to decorate each one. Oh yeah, my slip decorating here for the Celadon glaze. Let's see, I got those over here. But when I put that little piece of paper on the board in one of the bowls to say which clay body it was, next time I'll have to write on it the name of the clay body. Okay, so stop back, or maybe you just want to go to another YouTube video, somebody doing a tutorial, and you can sit on a chair and listen and learn, and maybe fall asleep, or stay here and stay awake. Okay, stop back.